Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right out the gate. You are not broke because you're broken. You are broke because no one taught you how money actually works. See, we live in a world where people have been educated to be employees, but not trained to build wealth. And if you don't understand the rules of the money game, you don't get to complain when you lose. So today, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to inspire you. I'm here to educate you on how to become a millionaire in 2025. Not 10 years from now, not someday. This year, let's be clear about something from the start. You don't get rich by working harder. You get rich by becoming more valuable. The world doesn't pay you for effort. It pays you for results. It doesn't pay you for how long you show up. It pays you for the value you deliver when you show up. Most people have been lied to since childhood. They were told to go to school, get good grades, find a secure job, work hard, and retire at 65. But here's the truth that no one told you. Jobs pay just enough to keep you from quitting, and you work just hard enough to keep from getting fired. That is not a wealth building strategy. That's a survival strategy. It's a trap dressed up like safety. Now understand this. Money is a certificate of value creation. If you want more money, create more value. If you want $1 million, go out and solve $1 million problem. Period. It's not about your degrees, your background, your race, your gender, or your past. It's about your ability to identify problems, create solutions, and deliver results that matter. People often ask, how do I raise my income? I ask them one simple question. How have you raised your value? Because the marketplace pays you in proportion to the value you bring to it. If you're making $50, zero a year, that means the market has determined that the value you're bringing is worth $50, zero. That's not an insult, that's feedback. And if you want to change your paycheck, you need to change your skill set, your mindset, or your network. And most likely all three. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone flipping burgers at a fast food place. That's honorable work, but the value being exchanged is basic. Now, imagine someone else who knows how to write persuasive sales copy that helps a business generate $1 million in revenue. That person isn't paid by the hour. They're paid by the outcome. They can charge $10, $0, $25, $0, even $100, $0 for a project because the value they deliver is exponentially higher. Here's the punchline. The difference between a $15/hour job and a $15, $0 invoice is not time. It's transformation. You don't need more hours in the day. You need to elevate what you do with the hours you already have. You need to become the kind of person who brings so much value to the table that people start chasing you with opportunities, not the other way around. So ask yourself, what problem do I solve better than anyone else? What skill do I have that can be developed into a solution someone would pay a premium for? How can I multiply my value in the marketplace? If you can answer those questions and take action on them, your income will grow. Not because of magic, not because of luck, but because income always follows value. When you focus on becoming a person of increased value, when you invest in your mind, in your character, in your craft, money starts looking for you. You don't have to chase it, beg for it, or hope for it. You attract it by who you become. Because at the end of the day, you don't get paid for your time. You get paid for the value you bring during that time. And if you raise your value, you'll raise your income. Every single time. Let me tell you something that will shift your entire financial reality if you receive it. Money is not the cause of wealth. Money is the result of wealth. And if you don't understand the difference, you'll spend your whole life chasing something that was never meant to be chased. Money is not the root of wealth. It is the fruit. But too many people are trying to pick fruit without planting any roots. They want to withdraw where they've never made a deposit. They want a harvest in a field they never worked, and then they wonder why they stay broke, frustrated, and stuck year after year. Let me give it to you straight. Money is not your problem. Thinking is, belief is, skill is, because money doesn't just show up by accident. It shows up as a direct reflection of how you think, how you operate, and how you add value to the world. People say, if I just had more money, I'd be okay. No, you wouldn't. Because if you don't change your habits, your thinking, and your patterns, more money will only magnify what's already broken. If you mismanage $1, 0, 0, 0, you will mismanage $10, 0, 0, 0. If you panic with $10, 0, 0, 0, you'll drown with $1, 100 zeros, 0, 0. More money doesn't solve money problems. More wisdom does. Money is a follower. It follows vision. It follows value. It follows structure. It follows stewardship. It follows those who know how to use it, manage it, and multiply it. That's why the goal should never be to get money. The goal should be to become the kind of person who attracts it, handles it, and directs it with purpose. Listen, money is an amplifier. It doesn't change you. It just turns you up. So if you're greedy, insecure, impatient, or foolish, money will only make it louder. But if you're disciplined, wise, strategic, and purpose-driven, money will multiply your mission and extend your impact. This is why you've got to shift your focus away from chasing income and start focusing on building internal wealth. That means investing in your mindset. That means mastering your emotions. That means building your ability to create, lead, and execute. Because wealth always flows from within before it shows up on the outside. When you see someone wealthy, don't just look at their lifestyle. Study their habits. Study their structure. Study how they think about time, how they solve problems, how they leverage people and systems. Because those are the things that cause money to flow. The average person wants money, but doesn't want the mindset required to manage it. They want success, but don't want to develop the structure that sustains it. But here's the truth. The level of money you're capable of receiving is directly tied to the level of responsibility and identity you've developed. You don't become wealthy by accident. You become wealthy by design. And design means cause. Wealth is not something you stumble into. It's something you build. It's not something that happens to you. It's something that flows through you. So stop asking, where's the money? And start asking, what kind of person must I become to attract and multiply money consistently? That's the real game. When you realize that money is a mirror, you stop blaming the mirror, and you start changing the image it reflects. You focus less on the numbers in your bank account and more on the value you bring, the systems you build, the skills you master, and the wisdom you apply. Because when you become the cause, the result takes care of itself. Money will find its way to you, not because you chased it, but because you became the kind of person it cannot ignore. It's not enough to learn how to make money. That's step one. But that's where most people stop. And that's why they stay stuck. You see, there are 3 stages to building wealth. You must make it, manage it, and then multiply it. If you only master the first stage, you'll always be limited to your effort. You'll be on the treadmill of hustle, running hard but never getting ahead. And no matter how fast you run, you'll still be trapped in survival mode because wealth doesn't come from income. It comes from what you do with income. Let's break it down. You have to learn how to make money, and not just money, but you money. That means developing a skill that solves a real problem in the marketplace, whether it's sales, marketing, consulting, real estate, copywriting, coding, or coaching. You need to become so good at something that people are willing to pay you well and often for it. Don't confuse movement with progress. Don't confuse activity with productivity. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're building wealth. You've got to focus your energy on income-producing activities. Find your lane, grow your skill, and deliver results that create demand. That's how you make money intentionally, not occasionally. Now, once you know how to make it, here's where most people drop the ball. They don't know how to manage it. You can't multiply what you mismanage. It doesn't matter how much you make. If your habits are reckless, your wealth will leak faster than it flows. This is why athletes go broke. This is why lottery winners lose it all. Because discipline is more important than the dollar, the person who makes $5,000 a month and keeps $2,000 will outlast the person making $20,000 a month but spending $22,000. So what does money management look like? It means telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. It means giving every dollar a name, a job, and an assignment. It means living below your means, not because you're broke, but because you're wise. You manage your money by budgeting, tracking, saving, tithing, and investing. You respect it so it respects you. You treat money like a servant, not a master. Because if you don't control money, it will control you. But here's where the wealthy separate themselves. They don't just make and manage. They know how to multiply. Multiplication is the secret to freedom. Making money requires your presence. Multiplying money lets you earn even when you're not working. That's where the game changes. That's when money starts working harder for you than you ever worked for it. You multiply by acquiring assets, not liabilities. You multiply by owning things that produce cash flow, businesses, rental properties, stocks, digital products, royalties, and licensing deals. Every dollar you earn is an employee. Don't just spend it, assign it. Put it to work, make it go out and bring back more dollars. That's multiplication, and the most powerful wealth creators use leverage to multiply faster. They leverage systems, people, time, capital, and technology. Because leverage is how you do more with less. That's how you scale. You can't work your way to wealth, but you can multiply your way there. Making money is about skill, managing money is about discipline, and multiplying money is about strategy. Most people only chase the first and ignore the other two, and that's why they stay stuck in the same cycle, no matter how hard they hustle. This year, don't just make more, manage better, multiply smarter. Because when you do all three, wealth isn't just possible, it's inevitable. If you want to become a millionaire in 2025, you have to stop thinking like a laborer and start thinking like a leader. You've got to stop chasing checks and start building channels. The truth is, wealth is no longer about how hard you work, it's about how well you leverage. Let me tell you something that wealthy people understand. Leverage is the new currency. And if you're not using leverage in 2025, you're playing an outdated game. You're trying to win in a digital world with analog thinking. You've been conditioned to believe that success comes from hard work. And yes, there is dignity in hard work. But hard work without leverage is slavery. You can grind all day long, but if you're the only one turning the wheel, then your income is tied directly to your effort, and the moment you stop, your money stops too. Let me make it plain, you will never scale your way to 7 figures with effort alone. But when you learn to leverage systems, platforms, people, and automation, you can produce exponential results with less effort and less time. Here's how it works. You must understand leverage of skills. A high-income skill, like sales, digital marketing, investing, or public speaking, gives you leverage because it allows you to generate large outcomes in short time windows. You don't get paid for how long it takes. You get paid for the impact it creates. One powerful skill can unlock opportunities, deals, and clients that completely shift your financial future. Then there's leverage of systems. Systems allow your business to run whether you're there or not. Email automations, customer onboarding flows, e-commerce platforms, CRMs, lead funnels. These are tools that don't sleep, don't eat, and don't ask for vacations. They keep producing even while you're spending time with your family, serving clients, or working on your next move. And don't forget leverage of people. This is where the real wealth is built. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Hire, delegate, and collaborate. Bring people around you who are better than you in areas where you're weak. Because when you can multiply your capacity through others, you multiply your results without multiplying your hours. Wealthy people don't ask, how can I get this all done? They ask, who can get this done for me? They build teams while others build task lists. And that mindset shift alone can take your income from 5 figures to 6, and from 6 to 7. Now, let's talk scale. Because leverage is what makes scale possible. To scale means to reach more people without increasing your cost or effort proportionally. If you're a coach and you're doing one-on-one sessions, you're limited. But if you create a course or a membership, now you're impacting hundreds or thousands with the same energy it took to build it once. If you're a speaker, don't just give talks. Record them, license them, turn them into books and programs. That's scale, that's legacy, that's wealth. You see, leverage and scale separate the hustlers from the builders. Hustlers work in their business. Builders work on their business. Hustlers trade time for money. Builders trade value for freedom. And you have a choice to make. Keep grinding or start growing. Keep doing everything yourself or start putting systems in place. Keep being the worker or step into the role of the wealth architect. Because in 2025, the people who win aren't the ones working the hardest. They're the ones who learned how to multiply without multiplying themselves. That's the power of leverage, that's the gateway to scale, and that's the difference between income and impact. Here's a truth that can change your entire financial destiny. You are one skill away from your breakthrough. Not a lottery ticket, not a once, a lifetime connection, not a magical investment, a skill. See, we've been conditioned to overcomplicate wealth. People think they need a 100-point plan or a 10-year grind to change their life. But most of the time, what separates a 6-figure life from a 7-figure one or a paycheck struggle from financial peace is just one strategic skill, mastered and applied at the right time. Let me ask you this. What skill do you have right now that you've taken seriously enough to turn it into a stream of income? Because skills are the new currency in today's world. We no longer live in the age of degrees. We live in the age of demonstrated value. Nobody cares where you went to school anymore. The marketplace only wants to know, can you solve my problem? Can you deliver results? Can you do it better, faster, smarter, or cheaper than anyone else? That's why developing one high-income skill, just one, can shift everything. It could be sales. It could be public speaking. It could be content creation, branding, storytelling, funnel building, investing, trading, negotiation, or software development. It could even be learning how to communicate effectively or build relationships that convert into opportunities. Let me break it down for you like this. There are people right now making $250 a year just because they know how to write persuasive emails. Why? Because that one skill generates sales. Others are making $500 because they know how to manage ad campaigns or teach others how to lose weight. One skill. Now here's the powerful part. You don't have to be the best in the world. You just need to be better than most and in front of the right people. And to get there, you have to stop dabbling and start dominating. You need to go deep on something, because depth creates mastery, and mastery creates confidence, and confidence creates income. The problem is not that people aren't capable of learning something new. The problem is they keep starting over instead of doubling down. They get halfway through learning how to build funnels or pitch their service, and then they stop because it's hard or uncomfortable. But let me tell you, the discomfort of learning a skill is temporary. The regret of staying stuck is permanent. You're not broke because you're unlucky. You're broke because you haven't yet mastered the right skill set. You're not stuck because the world is unfair. You're stuck because you're waiting for opportunity instead of preparing for it. And that preparation begins when you commit to learning one skill so well that the market has to reward you. You don't need 10,000 followers. You don't need to be famous. You just need to solve a painful problem for a specific group of people and then communicate that value clearly. And once you do that, doors start opening. Clients start showing up. Income starts flowing. Here's the formula. One skill-focused effort, consistent action equals breakthrough. You are one investment of focused time and energy away from changing your financial story. And that investment is not in crypto, not in real estate, not in stocks, it's in you. Because once you have the skill, nobody can take it from you. You can use it, adapt it, scale it, teach it, license it. It becomes an asset in your wealth portfolio that pays for life. So I'll ask you again, what's your one skill? What's the one thing you're willing to go all in on? Because once you find it and master it, everything else changes. You're not as far away from your breakthrough as you think. You're just one skill away. We've walked through 5 pillars, 5 principles that don't just lead to income, but to lasting generational wealth. You've learned that becoming a millionaire is not an event. It's a process. It's not about luck, and it's not about waiting for someone to hand you an opportunity. It's about becoming the kind of person who creates opportunity, attracts wealth, and multiplies value everywhere you go. You now know that money is a result, not a cause. So if you want different money, you need different thinking. If you want financial growth, you need personal growth. If you want external breakthroughs, you must first make internal shifts. You understand that it's not enough to make money. You've got to manage it and multiply it. Money without mastery becomes misery, but when you take authority over your money, when you assign it, structure it, and multiply it, you turn income into freedom. You've seen the power of leverage and scale. How true wealth is created not by working harder, but by working smarter, building systems, and empowering others. You don't build wealth with your hands alone. You build it with your head and your strategy. You've been reminded that you are just one skill away, one commitment, one decision, one investment in yourself away from unlocking a level you've never lived before. Now here's the real question. What are you going to do with what you just heard? Information without implementation is a distraction. Don't just get inspired. Get activated. Don't just nod your head. Move your feet. Don't wait for the right time. 2025 is already here, and what you do today is shaping your tomorrow, whether you believe it or not. So I challenge you to leave this moment with boldness. Pick the skill, set the structure, design the system, leverage the opportunity, and walk like someone who knows they're called to create wealth, not just for themselves, but for their family, for their purpose, and for their God-given legacy. You are not average. You are not random. You are not broke by design. You were born to build, born to lead, born to multiply. So go build, go lead, go multiply, and I'll see you at the top.